Well, let's turn our heads over to the lean hogs. Been very interesting as of late. You know, I've been talking about this $10 box, or this level that the Deese lean hogs, I guess we'll talk about them, have been bouncing in and around, and we've kind of made a run at sometimes the lower end of that. But it looks pretty healthy now if you take a look at it. We've kind of breached the upper end of that box that we've been talking about, around 57 to 67 was around. We've gone up to some pretty decent levels. Now I talk about that as something we have to look at because the technicians look at that. But another thing is that we've gone up to a new technical level they're looking at, which is a 50% retracement from the big break we've had from the highs to the lows. That's a lot to get out of your mouth. But that's about where we are, halfway back to where we were when we started a while back. So that's something also to keep an eye on. I think it's interesting that we rejected the old lows, right? We kind of try to make a run a couple, maybe even 3 times to break through the lower end of that box I was talking about. And so to do that and fail and now break through the upper end, I'm going to say that if you're a bull, that's got to be something you got to be pretty excited about. Bears wanted to see us kind of break through that level. Doesn't mean we won't at some point in time, but in the short term, those type of technical things are giving us more of an upward bias than I say a downward bias. Now, we've got some things out there that we still have to worry about, right? And they don't necessarily always have to do with lean hogs, but we've got an interest rate meeting or interest rate decision with the Fed next week. That could be something that we need to really keep in the rear view. We also, or not the rear view, in the front view. We've also got to worry about, say, a strong dollar. We've obviously got China out there. So all of those things, again, are going to help kind of either solidify this trend or reject it. But right now, it looks as though the trend wants to kind of drift a little bit higher. So that's something that we're looking at, mostly technical. I touched on a few fundamental things. China, you know, a stronger dollar, those types of things are something we're going to have to keep an eye on. But that's what's going to kind of give us that short-term bias. And right now, it looks as though we're trying to carve out a bottom.